Welcome back, everybody, to the USUK Podcast Network YouTube channel. We have another amazing interview from this week's USUK Chronicles, the Chronicles of Broken Jaw. We sit down with Broken Jaw lead singer Nutzie Shelley, hear about all the rise of the band, their recent signing to Oracle Management, who is run by Dez Farara of DevilDriver and Coal Chamber fame. It's an awesome interview. It's really inspiring for up-and-coming bands. Give it a listen. Let us know what you think. And yeah, take it away, boys.
Matches your lighting now. I was a bit too bright and vibrant.
That's what you want. I want to see all of you, mate.
I am wearing my Chiefs, so
yeah,
you might not want to see all of me, Tom.
Right, so what happens, mate, is Jamie will give you a major intro thing, and then we'll just swing to questions and we're just going to have a bit of a laugh. That's right.
Yeah, man, that sounds good to me.
Sweet. Jamie, do you want to take it away, son?
Hi, sure. By the way, Jamie.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Nutzie, Jamie, Nutzie. Apologies. I do massively apologise.
It's all good. Right. Ladies and gents, we have another great guest for you this week. In the world of rock and metal, there are 1,000,001 bands who start their bands and only dream of one day achieving the goals of being signed to a record label. Today's guest has not only achieved that, but done so by signing with an absolute metal legend. Here today, we tell the story of the mighty Broken Jaw with their lead singer, Nutzie Shelley.
Hey! Welcome, welcome, welcome!
Cheers, guys.
How the devil are you, sir?
Oh.
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I'm continuing on as well as you can be in these situations.
Yeah, bless you, man. Obviously, people won't know because this won't be on the show, but it'll be on the YouTube video. But obviously, you just said you had a COVID test, and we're hoping that all is negative.
Yeah. We'll see. Like,
fingers
again.
crossed. Bless you, man.
So we'll isolate, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to be fucking doing that shit, especially with the way things are going at the moment. You're fucking locked in. I mean, being furloughed for 7 months now, so
really. I'm quite the opposite. So when I'm not doing stuff like, you know, with the band and stuff, I'm quite like recluse. I like to just stay in and just do nothing and literally play on the computer and I mean occasionally do weights and stuff like that. And
yeah,
but I'm a creature of comfort, so I literally will just hibernate if I can.
Well, mate, it's good. It's perfect. It is for some people. I can't do it. I have to be doing shit. I can't sit. Fuck all.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. While I'm in there, I'll be going stir crazy that I need to do something. But at the same point in time, I'll enjoy my my relaxation. But then after a while, you know, you get that cabin fever setting, and you have to but then that's where the creative side comes out, which is why I'm quite glad I've got this room, is because then I could just come in here and create some music, or someone can send me some music, like, you know, from the band and whatever. So, I mean, I still will miss doing whatever, but like 7 months, Tom. Geez, like, yeah. How have you coped?
I mean, I haven't. Doing this podcast is the only thing that's kept me going.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, this is my savior. If I didn't have this twat here, I don't know what. I don't know. I literally can't answer that question. I can't answer that question at all. I think I would have gone bananas.
Literally different strokes for different folks, isn't it? At the end of the day, like, you know, as long as you've got something to chuck yourself. I think my old man's just retired, and I think that he's kind of struggling because he's now not got purpose in life, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
when you're working and you're doing stuff, that gives you purpose, but then at the same point in time you have also aspirations, dreams, goals, you know, and that keeps you alive, and that's why they say, obviously, when you retire, you stop, you kind of die. And he's been kind of like me. He's not the creative type with music, but instead what he's done is literally gone and catalogued every single piece of music that he's got, or is in the middle of doing so. Mm-hmm. So fair play to him. Like, I mean, he likes scuba diving, but has not really been able to go, and, you know, being safe with that. So
yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's for him, his different side for what he wants to do is completely different to what I would want to do. Like I said, these 2 weeks, if I end up isolating, like, I will be finding shit that I can do. But we, like with the band and stuff, like musically, I spent 2 years after the breakup of the last lot. I spent 2 years trying to find the right people. So that was 2 years away from gigging, 2 years away from like creating music, really. and that was a struggle. So it's extremely ironic that I get 3 shows with the new guys, I get signed, and then everything kind of just goes, yep, stop.
Yeah.
So I'm all right at the moment, because I think I'm still in that in between phase of not doing something, and then I've had the taste of doing it, and then I'm like, right, let's do it. But we've still been able to create and record, and that's the beauty of now the technology and everything being available to be able to do it from home, you know?
Yeah. You couldn't imagine it's the 90s, could you? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh man, I probably would have like maybe gone a little bit insane, like not being able to do anything by then. Yeah.
With the internet just starting out, people just getting computers, and the mobile phones are like yay big, like fucking huge things.
The Nokia 407. It was my
Nokia
first
1. Yeah.
So 402s or 407s. There's the one that had Snake on it, and that's the only reason I wanted it as a kid. It was a bit.
I never got the pleasure.
Mate.
No.
Oh, Snake was the bomb.
They lasted though. They were strong, you know.
Well, you could fucking kill someone with it.
Yeah.
So, nuts, man. How has your lockdown been? How was lockdown for you? Did you teach yourself anything new, or did you just literally focus on music and play games?
I had a lot of sex.
That
was good.
It's the best answer I think I've ever had to that question.
Again, like, I'm a creature of comfort. So, yeah, I mean, we struggled as a band, like, to you know, be able to figure out ways of creating. I think we only had about 3 weeks or 2 weeks away from where we did nothing, but then we started getting everyone to use. We actually used Skype and Google's own one as well for a bit. Look, we basically tested them all out to see which was the best one. Like, which could we hear each other on, and how can we like be able to create stuff. So I mean, we kept structure throughout the whole entire time. So we literally did every Sunday like we would practicing. And ended up basically just creating. We made a whole track for the last track that was made for the album. We actually made at the beginning of lockdown, because we already had some ideas of what we were going to do, and but like, bless John brought this track in, and we all picked it apart and put our own pieces on it, and and it made it to the album. So that's quite cool. Like, and that's going to be the second single released. So, which it has a very special guest spot on, which is nice, which I'm not giving away.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, hopefully, as long as things keep going smoothly. Let's put it that way.
I'll keep everything crossed for you, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, lockdown's not been too bad for us. Laura's continued with work, and she's been able to work from home. So she's not really, I mean, she struggled because obviously then she's been stuck indoors like a lot. And I think she's much like you, where she struggles to just be in a place all the time constantly. And again, cabin fever sets in for everyone, but yeah, I think that kind of made her struggle, and not seeing friends, family and stuff like that. I was working in retail a hell of a lot as well. So, I was able to go work and converse with people regardless, but it was stressful as hell. And people were assholes, like the amount of people stressing, like, and coming at you. And I had death threats. I had flipping people telling me that I was everything under the sun. Like, but I mean, I take it on the chin and just go, yeah, right. You're just stressed,
Dude, you can swear here, by the way, if you want to.
Yeah, good.
Give me that fucking toilet roll. I'll end you.
We are very easy.
Well, luckily enough, there wasn't much toilet roll that we did have a load, which is really weird, because where I work, you wouldn't think that you would end up with toilet roll, but there was there was a whole pallet of toilet roll, which went very quickly. But surprisingly, the one thing that I did not expect to go that went super uber quick was actually hot tubs. We just went like that, and that's because everyone was bored at home. They needed something to do. But that's like 500, 600, 800 quid's worth of stuff. It's like, you might need this money for later on, but you're splooge it. Okay, I'm no judge, but like, this isn't an essential item to me.
Yeah, and have fun with that electricity bill.
You're right, and that as well, I mean, I don't think people kind of stop to think before they actually buy. Like, but I mean, no judgment on my part. At the end of the day, if it keeps them sane and away from me, then I'm happy.
Well, yeah, exactly, exactly, man.
So, as I said in the intro, you know, you've been signed by an absolute metal legend, and that being Dez Farara of DevilDriver and Coal Chamber. So, how did that all come about? Because it's absolutely amazing.
So when when we finally got the band together as a whole, you know, there was a lot of searching for different members and stuff like that. I'd already said to each one of them before we started that I didn't want to go at this like I had done with previous bands, or that like I didn't want to go at this without aim. And so I said, like, look, it's going to feel like ages until we do something, but I want to make sure that when we get it right and we do it properly. And so we spent best part of basically from about March. We'd already had 2 tracks, I think, by the end of 2018, and March 2019. We had all of us, so we just started writing the album. We didn't expect to play any gigs or anything like that in that entire like 2019 calendar. So we set out doing that, and what we did is we went in the studio around, I think it was June, maybe July, in 2019, and recorded a 3-track demo. And I was using that demo basically to get interest, either for gigs for 2020 or to get, like, you know, record labels and stuff like that. So what I did is just 3-track demo, chucked it out as many people as I could. I got a couple of relatively nice ones back, but nothing like that where they said, oh yeah, we're interested. It was more of a thanks for it, we're gonna have to pass type, or a lot of not replied emails. But when I sent it to, because randomly was scrolling the internet for people to send it to, and Dez was one of those, and so I was like, oh, I didn't realize he had a management company. And so I was like, right, I'll find out some information, have a look and see who's on the roster and whatever, and I'll send it to him. Maybe sent it, and within about, I think it was like 10 minutes or something daft, I got an email back saying this is exciting. And I was like,
wow,
yeah, like to get that, like, what? Nothing else. Just this is exciting, and then Dez's name underneath. And you're like, Laura, is this real? And then literally 2 minutes after that one came through, another one said, this is really exciting, we need to talk. We're from California. And so I emailed it back, and okay, like, fair enough. Let's talk. And he was like, yeah, like, let's set up a talk for tomorrow, this time. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm free that time, I'll ring you. Got off the phone, kind of, I got off from email, sorry, and then kind of got a bit flustered and was a bit like, I don't know what to do about this. And then it's like all day the next day just thinking about it, like being like, Christ, like, what, you know, what, maybe I'm being wound up or whatever. And the most hideous part of the story is, so we're trying to figure out, obviously, to add a plan to my mobile to be able to call America, and sorted all that out. I went to dial the phone, didn't dial the plus, whatever it is for America, and I was like, it's not working, Laura, it's not working. She's like, you have to put the dial code in. I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I rang it, and as I rang it, it's ringing, and it's like, just got someone picked up on the other end and said, hello, who this? Dez, is that you? So, hello, who is this? It's Nutzie. It's Nutzie. You wanted to speak to me? And then silence, and then, hey dude. I was like, okay, you okay? And he's like, yeah, sorry, like, Lamb of God's guitarist's phone got stolen the other day, so basically just I screen my calls to make sure that it's not pranks, because we've had pranks, loads of us have had pranks from whoever stole that phone. So I was like,
his idea of screening messages.
No problem.
That's fucking incredible.
Right. And so he got chatting, and he just came straight out of the gun, like proper, like enthusiastic and excited about the music, and just basically just came out and was like, I want to sign you, like, and that's it. Like, nothing like about any of the ins and outs straight off. It was just like, I love the music. It's my kind of music. I grew up on punk, and that was kind of like what I was looking for. And I think if you go with like, record labels and management companies, they're not as excited as what a musician's going to be. I think because he's a musician, because he's grown up and he's learned so much, and because he's got like the knowledge, he's now in a position where he's not failing at what he's doing. He doesn't need the money, and he's basically just looking to progress the passion and help another band get to see the world, and for the world to see them. And it was so refreshing for him to just come at me with all of this, and I came away because it was very odd to me, because seeing them like for the first time in 2006 at Download, and seeing the massive circle pits that they created, I already knew that he's got passion, and I already knew that he does it for the love of music. So for me to be able to talk to someone about handing my band over to someone just as passionate like as me, it was beautiful. Like, and to hear him be full of praise for these demos, which for all of us, we were like, oh, they're pretty good, like, we're happy with them, like, but for him to come back and be like about them, it was like, what?
Must have been a bit surreal for you. Yeah, like, it's like exciting, but then you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah, I think when I got off the phone, I was very quiet, and I went for a piss, and I just stared for a bit and was like, it's one of those like comedy sketches where I didn't miss, but like it was almost like I just think going off to one side. And I come out, and Laura was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just don't know if this is real at the moment. This feels very like I just can't explain it." And to have someone who I looked up to in music come at me and say that he loved what I did, it was a major boost. But I mean, I'm a grounded as fuck person anyway. Like, I'm a cocky kind of guy, but I've always said at the end of the day, one person's arrogance is another person's confidence. And as long as you're not just, throwing it in people's faces, then I tend to think that you can be, the humblest guy. And I've been trying like very hard to not boast about it and not be like too big, but at the same point in time celebrate it, because at the end of the day I fucking deserved it.
It's like you've been working so hard, man. You've got to throw it out there. Fuck it. I mean, we're aiming for shit with this show. We're aiming for the same. So to have a brother get there, and who's worked so hard at what you've done for so long, and you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it, man. And I tip my hat. So embrace that shit, dude. Embrace. Fuck it. If people want to be jealous, people will be jealous. At the end of the day, you get you get one life, get one shot of this. Just fucking enjoy it, man.
You're always gonna get that, aren't you? That's the thing.
Absolutely.
And I completely expect it. But I'm trying, like I said, to not be overly and bless the guys, like they're all just like, they're more humble than I am, like, let's put it that way. They're more like laid back, and John, bless him, he's been in bands for God knows how many years. He's been in bands longer than I have, and for him to get it as well, it was almost a, like I've got my own celebration, but I'm celebrating his success as well. And like you see everyone like giving him praise and stuff like that, and you're like, yeah, he fucking deserves it. He's a good guitarist and he's a nice guy, But this is why I picked these guys, like, and wanted these guys, and these guys loved working with me, is because it was like, let's just go in, make music for fun and see what happens with it. And I think that's the thing. It's come tenfold of the passion is showing. It's coming through, and I'm hoping that's what you guys and everyone else will kind of hear when they get to hear the album, is that it's energetic. I've had people like listen to a couple of the songs and be like, that's way more energy than I was expecting. Like, that's way more heavier than I was expecting. Like, and I'm like, really? Okay, I like this.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
So did I read you with the second band that you signed?
So he's got a management company. So he signed loads of bands to that. You've got like Cradle of Filth, you've got DevilDriver themselves, you've got Wednesday 13, you've got flipping Ginger. You know, you got loads of bands on there which are really high names, and so we were a bit like, but why are you kind of picking us? But then he asked to basically. He was happy for us to come onto that, but then he also said, I'm starting a record label. I want you to be the first band signed. And I was like, are you kidding? And he was like, no, like this is the deal. Here you go. Talk it over with the boys. And so I was talking over the boys. He said, look, like, let's get a conference call together. Let me talk to the boys and we'll all hash it out and everything. So yeah, like we were the first band signed to his record label, which is insane. Like, again, yeah, like the amount of you get that first bit where it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you get that second bit of, fuck, we really need to work hard now. So yeah, although we've enjoyed everything that we've done so far, there is also the voices in the back of our heads going, you fuck this up, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be worth it though. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones.
We hope so. Like, I mean, there's big plans ahead, like that he's got for us and stuff. But I mean, with everything going on, it's just not feasible. And so we've done the album now. The album is pretty much done from our perspective. It still needs a little bit of mixing, which I've been going through today, which was another bit why I was a bit too late, because I was talking to Dez and I was talking to Dave from Liberosis Productions, who's doing the recording, and then it's getting mastered by a guy called Alan Duche, who basically is he's like a massive name in the industry, so go and look him up. Like, he's done like Killswitch Engage, he's done like Motorhead, he's done Misfits, you know, he's just got everything under his belt. So that again is a massive boot up the ass for us to be like, we need to do this as good as we can, and that also has kicked Dave up the ass to you know, make sure he does the best he can. And so we played the album to Dez with the first mixes, and he absolutely adored it. Had a couple of critiques, which is lovely, again, because I don't want someone that's just going to be like, yeah, this is amazing, like, let's release it. I want someone that's actually going to be like, this is really good, but like, you know, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could add this, or, you know, so that's really nice that he's willing to give advice, because I'm much the same. Again, if I give you advice, or if I give you any form of suggestion or anything like that, it's because I like you. If I'm not suggesting, or if I'm not giving you my input, it means I couldn't give a shit, you know. I couldn't care less about you. So I think he's very much the same, and it's been great as well, because as you know, Tom, I'm a very straight shooter, honest, down to the fucking ground kind of guy. So, you know, we've had these situations where we've been on the phone till like 1, 2 in the morning, and I've been like, that's not going to work, Dez. I don't think that's going to be kind of how it just isn't what we want to go for, type thing. And he's been like, but you should, it's really cool, and this is how we should do it. And I'm like, I appreciate that, and maybe I'll give it a go. Like, we'll give it a go. Like, and because I'm not open, you know, I'm not closed off to giving ideas and thoughts and everything a go as well. So I think he's the same as me as well. He's very happy to suggest it, but at the same point in time, he's also very happy to try things, because we've come to, like I said, we haven't come to a loggerhead where we just stop and go, well, you should, or I should, or, you know, it's very much, okay, we'll try it and see, you know. And he's got, like I said, he's got the experience here. Like, he's got the years upon years upon years. He was managed by Sharon Osbourne, so for him to like have that under his belt, and the knowledge of how she did it, to like then pass it on to me, and I kind of want to do the same as what he's doing. This is where my aspirations come in, is I want to be able to then go down the lines and basically, you know, when I'm his age, start looking at picking up bands and helping them on the way up, when hopefully I've got up there, you know. Yeah,
it's beautiful, awesome. Man. I wish you all the best though with it, I really do, and I'll be behind you every fucking step of the way. Anytime, bro. So take us back to the fucking beginning, man. What made you go, I want to fucking sing, scream, shout, you know, and front a band. What was the initial first thought made you go, this is what I want to do with my life?
I was in college. I mean, even back before then, I suppose, like when I was in like school, my first band that I saw was Machine Head, my first big band. We'd done like little gigs and stuff like that. I'd been to little gigs. I'd never played in front of a crowd or anything like that. Just went to little gigs, you know, in the local sports hall or town village hall.
Yeah.
And but then my friend went. My best friend, Monkey, turned around and said that he had this ticket to go and see Machine Head in Nottingham, and we were about 16. And so I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'm up for that." Like, I'm not a really big fan of Machine Head. I only know Davidian. That was the only track that I'd ever heard of theirs on MTV way back in the day.
MTV too.
Yeah, and so I went, and that blew my tiny little mind. Like going into Rock City in a small sweaty room, being picked up and thrown by a big hairy man was just the exhilaration I needed. Like, you know, that kickstarted my love for, I mean, I love music. Like, I was brought up on music all my life. You know, I went to my mum used to have singing lessons, so I used to go and sit as a kid in with them and try and mimic it. Like, but never really thought that I'd do anything with music. And then got to college, met like-minded people who were into the same kind of thing. They wanted to put on a band. We did like a couple of like 3 or 4 covers, which was terrible.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
And then, well, there's the thing. And then I decided to go instead. I decided to try bass. Was not really my thing. Didn't feel infused by it. And then tried drums, and it was like not really infused by that either. Like, and so I went like from the back of the band to the front of the band. I basically covered a drum at one time and played "Love Will Tear You Apart," but I played it like probably about 50 BPM quicker than the original. and then at the end of it, trashed my drum kit on the stage.
Why?
Punk, man. That's the way it works. Like, you get so excited that you just end up losing yourself, and that was it. Like, I mean, it was the last song of the set. It wasn't like it was the first or middle. You know, I would have put the drums back again. Bear with me. I'll just put this back. I didn't mean to destroy it. Just disregard the last 5 seconds.
Sound check, please. Snare.
Yeah. Just sat there going, well, where's the roadie? So yeah, I went from the back, and then got asked to try out from an old skateboarding friend's band, and tried out for that band. Got in that band. We did like 3 gigs, I think, and that went south again. You tend to find when you're that young as well, there's a massive power struggle and divide. You know, and the bassist wanted to be the front man, so there was all this drama and all this crap, and so therefore they kicked me out and then put him in the front while playing bass, and then asked me to come back, and I was like, you know what, I'm happy not, like, you know, you guys do what you want to do, and then the guitarist, when all that ended, he then joined another group of lads who were starting a band, and that's where I met Dave, the producer. And he basically came and vetted me to see if I was any good and wanted to join the band, and that was where the old band Create Chaos started. And that was a punk being in a metal band, you know, like that was me stood with all these guys in camo and black, but in like green and white and bright colors, you know. No matter how much they told me you need to wear more black and be more camo, I was like, nah. No, I don't.
Sorry.
You need to suck this.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like that came to a head again, like a lot of drama and falling out, and you know, I'm completely at fault just as much as any of the other guys for creating bad vibes, and I was being a bit of a typical frontman, I'd probably say, around that time. But you know, we enjoyed it, and then after that I started Broken Jaw, and that was pretty much the start of that. I mean, we did what we did from 2012 to 2017, which isn't bad. I mean, but we had probably around somewhere in the vicinity of about 13, maybe 12 different members in that time.
Yeah.
So,
I remember the recruitment process.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. It was a lot of there was a lot of struggle, again, power struggle with everything, and division in the music. Whereas I just wanted to create it and have fun with it, and that's where it's led me to today, is to just come in and not feel like I'm judged for being like, let's try this or let's try that, like. And these guys are completely the same. They'll come in and they'll be like, let's try this, or I don't like that, but let's try this. And that's what really irks me, is when someone turns around and says, I don't like that. And you wait and you wait and you wait and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why don't you like it? Like, you can't just say you don't like it. That makes no sense. Like, you have to have a reason of why you don't like something. And maybe, and I think this is where, like I said, I'm different to quite a lot of people. Is if I don't like something, I won't just dismiss it. I will be like, I don't like it, but maybe we could try this, or I don't like it, or maybe you could try that. I'd never say I don't like something anyway, because to be honest, there's always, in music anyway, there's always something where I will like something of it. I mean, there's definitely bands that I would not listen to, or that I just don't really, I'm not a fan of the sound or the person, or, but it wouldn't go so far to say I hate something or really dislike it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's, again, though, probably why DJing, obviously, you know, I DJ like all across the alternative genre, because I like, you know, a hell of a lot of music, and it's not just about me when it's DJing. It's people, you know, different tastes, so therefore you DJ to them, you cater for everyone, which is nice.
Absolutely. Good old Junction 13 nights.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, man, and propaganda and Jesus,
props.
you know.
Oh, I miss props.
When it was good.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Yeah, man. I haven't been in, God, I don't even know how long I haven't been to Junction 30. Props, propaganda. God, that's got to be like probably about 6 years, maybe more, maybe less. Yeah, probably about 6 years, I reckon.
Yeah, we were going the prime time though. Now it's just not even, don't even bother.
Have you been? Have you?
I went. Last time I went was probably last year, not the year before, and I could literally father every single person in that building now. Like, yeah, I'm probably too old to be here.
Probably did.
Ginger.
Not mine. Not ginger, not mine.
I've been found out, shit.
So obviously, before we jumped on it, I asked if there was any of your music I could find to listen to, and you said obviously because you're still recording it and there's nothing out there at the moment. So if people listening, how would you describe Broken Jaw's music?
Like that.
It's really weird, because I've always said it's punk metal, and that is really funny, because even with the last lot of guys, it was punk metal, but it was a softer punk metal, whereas this one is a heavier punk metal, and that's what I always wanted to slightly go. I wanted to kind of mix my old roots with, you know, a bit of the new school, and you could never do it with the last members, and so this time it's gone a little bit heavier, but it's not so heavy that it's like, you know, deathcore or death metal or anything like that kind of.
Yeah.
It's even though, and this is the weirdest part, is even though the drummer is into his deathcore and is heavy, so there is like insane footwork going on in this album. Like, this kid is a machine. He's like Animal but on speed. Like, he's just insane. Like, and so if you mix him with me, who's like Tigger on fucking speed, you know, you have the back of the band being fucking like incredibly fast, and then the middle of the fucking band being really fast, and then you have the guitarists who are just as happy to fucking play and go loopy, you know, and the bassist who has an insanely like good voice. So it's nice that he can play and scream, so you have that nice balance of backing vocals with the front. So we play I think it's the tuning. I'm probably going to get shot. We play A, I think it is, which is 2 7-string guitars and a 5-string bass. So again, you get that nice low, but at the same point in time, you get the nice highs as well for when it's a bit melodic. If you want to, I don't like comparing bands, because what I might hear, someone else might not, or what someone else might hear, I might not. Like, the only thing that I say, I mean, it's the same situation of me saying it's punk metal. Someone might just come out and say it's completely whatever, something else. But I mean, there's been, let's put it this way. There's been, someone said that they've likened some of my vocals to Dead Kennedy's Singer, which is weird for something heavy. But at the same point in time, you've still got some Henry Rollins in there as well. You've got some Lamb of God with Randy Blythe in there. You've got with the guitars and stuff like that. I think there's a nice mixture of a lot again. So they're different. Their kind of ideas of what they sound like are going to be different to what I think. But at the same point in time, there's a bit of Parkway Drive, a bit of Gloucestershire, a bit of lighter stuff, like a bit of Kill Switchy kind of in there. Again, a bit of DevilDriver, a bit of Lamb of God. But yeah, it's really it's a massively weird amalgamation because of all of our different tastes in music. But like, you'll find that probably about just over the half of the band like a bit of punk as well. So you have that, like, again, you have that quite nice bouncy jumpy energy, also a bit of flowy energy, but at the same point in time you have the heavy aggressiveness to it as well. This is such the worst question people ask me is like, what does it sound like? Because I have no fucking idea. It's just, for me, it's just a band that I would want to go and watch. Like, it's that energy. If I'm feeling infused when I'm playing it, then goddamn, someone's gonna fucking feel infused when they're watching it. And so I think when things come out, I think the recording side of things, that's the money side of things, in my opinion, and the side of things where it gets out to most of the world. Whereas my favorite part about the whole thing is just playing live, because at the end of the day, that's what I feed off. That's what I love, which has been the killer at the moment, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine, to be fair. So tell us about your songwriting process. Do you write all the lyrics to your songs?
So far I have.
So far, yeah.
But I mean, there's been suggestions at points. I mean, but then there will be, on the next album, there'll be a whole song written by the bassist, because that was one thing, again, I wanted to set out that it's not just me in this band, you know, like I want to give him more of a track than what I would be on. So maybe I'll do the cleans or whatever, but he does the majority of it, because again, Josh has got an incredible voice, and he's only progressing with it as well. So why not give him the space to create? And he's quite young as well, so he's got that freedom of, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it out there. No expectations on him at the moment, you know. It's just do whatever you want, kid. Let's fucking do this. I think that's with a lot of the other guys. So with my process, how my process goes is, we'll get in. So we're just writing a song at the moment. So even though the album's just been done for us, not even released for the rest of the world, we've literally jumped back straight into the studio and started writing a new album. So we're already doing the first song that we started on that. We've got a load of ideas that are floating around, because even though we were when we did the last song, Lackluster is what it's called. When we did the last song, we basically had all these ideas. So what we did was we just got the guys to chuck riffs and stuff like that and ideas into Dropbox and in their each individual folders, so that when we come back to writing this album now, we can then just pick into there and pick out of there if there's anything that might fit. We don't tend to start with that. I think what we tend to start with is just getting into the room, someone comes up with an idea, and then work from that. And then basically, if we can't come up with something, then we'll pick an idea from the box. But then there's been songs where one of us has written the entire guitars, or one of us has had an idea, and it sparks from that. I don't do anything vocally until everything has been done guitars wise, but I will sit in that room with the rest of the guys, and I'll be the one to write up on the whiteboard the structure of the song, to help them then know changes and everything like that, and then we can throw ideas. We can be like, move it about a bit, because I'm very much a visual, visual creative type, where I will need to see something in order to figure out that's how it will run, and then I'll listen to it and be like, okay, that feels smooth. Whereas if you put it up on the board and then it doesn't feel smooth, then you kind of go, right, well, we need to maybe smoothen things out. And that's not always the way it's going to be, because like I said, you've got a room full of 5 guys all trying to work together. But they'll hopefully, they're like me again, they won't just say, no, that's crap, or no, I don't like it. It's I'm not really a fan of that, but let's try this, or oh, I liked it the other way, let's go back to this. And we're very much a democracy whereby, if one of us doesn't like it, then we all have to look at it and see how we can make it, us all happy about it. So once it gets to the fact of we've got this piece of music that's set in stone, I will obviously sit there and listen to it and come up with ideas while I'm doing all of that as well. And then once it's all set in stone, then I go away, I plug my earphones in with the crappy phone recorded version that we have, and then I just write, just get out whatever's on my fucking brain at that point in time, and see where it comes out. We had a joke, because this album's quite a serious album. This one we've released, it's quite a political album. There are a couple of jokey tracks in there, but it's a political album. It's a political time. You can't steer away from it. There's no way of looking back at it. And bearing in mind, right, we wrote this album last year when none of this shit was happening. So for it to come around tenfold now and it be even more of a poignant thing, like that to me hopefully means, I have this fucking hatred, because on one side of things I want it to be timeless and always work in the time that we are, but on the other hand I don't, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be a power struggle. There's always going to be some dickhead trying to be a fucking dickhead and get more money, but like I said, same point in time, I don't want it to be that. I don't want someone to have to listen to this music and feel the struggle that we're all feeling at the moment.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. There's no way I'm going to win. Like I can be happy about it, or I can not be happy about it. But at the same point in time, at the end of the day, that's my passion coming out. So therefore, hopefully, that's all that matters. And someone else will listen to that and be like, you know what? No, that's fucking, I agree. Or you know what? Fuck it. Like, that's some fucking cool shit. Doesn't matter if they read between the lines or not. And I don't really want to tell everyone what the songs are about, because again, it's the same thing about, the music and what it sounds like is, it might mean something completely different to someone else. And the only time that I'll ever step in and be like, no, that's not what it's about, is when some kind of fucking Nazis or some fucking assholes take it on board as an anthem. Like, stop. No, that's not what it's about at all. Get back in your cave.
I love it. Now, I know it's the most cliche question ever in the history of interviews, but you've mentioned the lineup changes and bringing these guys in. So how did this formation of the band meet / come together, however you want to word it?
So when I started, when I started again, I started with a guy I knew from a different band, and then just was on the internet trying to find people, going on the typical join my band and stuff like that. There's a load of websites out there that will help you if you're struggling to find a band, or like-minded people that want to make music. But I really, I really struggled to find people who were as driven and who were as passionate or as willing to set the time aside, which isn't a bad thing, because you kind of like drain out the ones who don't want to do it, like, which is shit that you have to deal with that in the first place. You shouldn't have to, like, especially when you're writing there and you're saying, this is what it is, this is how I want it to be, and people instantly get stars in their eyes and go, yeah, I want to be in a band, I want to go and do that. And then when it comes to it actually sitting there and having to write and spend every weekend in a room, hot sweaty room, or a really freezing cold room, like trying to write some music, it suddenly becomes clear on them that they have to actually work at it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get at the moment, is that, well, at all, like over the time that I've spent in bands, I think a lot of people don't get that. I think they just see the starry-eyed, let's go and gig type side of things. And so it took me, like I said, 2 years pretty much to find everyone. But the first person that I found was Sam, I believe, the guitarist, and he got suggested by his ex-partner Emily, and she basically said, because again, I posted it up, I put it on Instagram, put it on flipping Facebook, put it on Twitter and everything like that, and she messaged me going, I know a guy that wants to be in a band, but he's got no experience. And I was like, experience isn't anything to me. Like, if he's got the passion and the drive and the want, then I'll try him out. Like, I'll see how he gets. What's he into? Like, and she said, and I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty much what I'm going after. And bear in mind, he'd only played a 6-string at this point as well. So he come in and tried out, and but the first practice he turned up, I also managed to get a drummer and a bassist as well, and so we ended up doing covers. I think we did Limp Bizkit, Eat You Alive, System of a Down, Needles, and Prodigy, Breathe, and so we ended up as a 4-piece at that point in time. At the time, the bassist, she was using a 5-string as well, so it was only natural that I turned around and was like, you thought about maybe playing a 7-string, like, because get that lower tone. He was like, yeah, I'll give it a go, and eventually got himself one. And then John came in, because John was in a band called We Come From Ashes, and I've known John for years. And I said to John, like, we both said after doing a Halloween gig together, where it was just amalgamation of different bands doing covers, we both said we did I think we did a couple of songs together, and after that we should work together. We worked really well together. And so when it came about and I needed another guitarist, I was like, John, do you want to maybe come in and play? And he was still in We Come From Ashes, and I knew that he was still in there, and I was like, look, like, I've got no problem as long as you can spend your time between the two happily, then I don't mind.
Yeah.
And it ended up down the lines anyway that they broke up, and now the other guys are doing other things in different bands as well, and John's happy now being here, but he ended up picking up a 7-string. They both did 7 strings, and then we were looking for a bassist, and the bassist is the weirdest one but for me, and the greatest one. It was his name's Josh, and basically he was in another band as well, and I went to the Metal to the Masses gig.
Yeah.
And I was stood at the back of the crowd, watching a couple of bands that I'd never heard before, hanging out with bands who I have known for years. And I was stood between Sam from Ascaris and Mike, who was in Panic Switch. I think he's still in Panic Switch. So, and I stood in between those two, and I was like, "Who's this band?" And they were like, told me, and I was like, "Okay, forget that. Who's the bassist?" And they were like, "I don't know." Like, but it's like, he's basically the best thing in this band. Like, he's the one that's drawing my attention, and you shouldn't have that as a bass. Like, as a band, you shouldn't have the bassist being the one that's like doing all the effort, getting really into it, and everyone else is just like. And so I was like, I want him bad. Like, and Mike was like, well, why don't you talk to him and ask him? I was like, well, he's in a band, like, and they're doing Metal to the Masses, so they're probably pretty serious. And I was like, he said, just go and talk to him, you know, and see what he's about, see if he might. And so I went to go and see him after he finished, but he disappeared. He went home. And so I was like, fuck, I've missed that opportunity. And so next day I woke up and was like, you know what, I'm going to look up that band and see what his name is and see if I can message him and see if he'd be interested. So I looked it up, messaged him, said who I was, said I was in a band, said I was interested in taking him on as bassist, said that he didn't need to like come back to me like instantly, just this is what I was thinking. He then messaged me back saying, I really appreciate it, but I'm going to stick because this is my band, this is my baby, this is what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, no, completely. I respect that, you know. That's if someone came to me like was like, you know, join our band. Yeah, I'm in another band. No, sorry, I'm in a band. Like, this is what I love doing. I'm not going to leave these guys. These are my, you know, bros at the end of the day. And then I think like a couple of days later or a day later, he messaged me going, is that offer still on the table? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, I'll come and try out. And I was like, okay. And so he came and tried out. And basically when he came and tried out, he said, look, like, you know, I wanted to stick it out with those guys, but I constantly having to organize stuff. I'm constantly trying to have to kick them up the ass and get them to do stuff. And I was like, dude, that's not what this band is about. Like, if I have to kick you up the ass, there's got to be a definite good reason that I've got to kick you up the ass. I mean, that's how we work again in this band. Is if someone's low, we'll talk to each other. We'll be like, look, I'm feeling low today. Like I can't do it. Like, or you know, I need help. So we're our support system. We're our own support system. And he didn't feel like he had that like in that band. And I completely and utterly 100% like get where he was coming from, because I spent years in a band where I just didn't feel like I was valued or appreciated, or that, you know, I was wanted. And so when he came in, he had such a laugh with us that he decided that that was what he's going to do. And so that band ended up, you know, debunked and no longer. And then we just ever since then had fun and created the music, and it's serendipitous that it's come out this way, you know. Like, it's really fucking weird, like, but I've always said it, you've got to go through the trials and tribulations and the effort and the hurt, the pain, the suffering, to get through to the other side, to be able to then use all of that and push for something great. And if you're not, then you're just wasting away, and you shouldn't, like, you don't have to. That's I think the problem. And the greatest thing for me in those 2 years was I had people behind me constantly going, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. And so the first people that, when we got signed, the first people that I invited to the pub to tell them were those people. I had like a workmate, I had my best friends, I had my family, you know. These were the people that had constantly been going like, look, this is your dream, this is what your passion is. It's not just about like fame or glory, it's about writing music and getting it out of yourself, because you're not the same person when you're not. So, and to be able to share that with other guys who feel the same and aren't themselves without the creative output is again beautiful. And for us to be appreciated by someone who is, you know, way up in the chain, again, like, it shows. And that's what I'm hoping again will show throughout the whole entire thing.
I'm really happy for you, man, and I'm really proud of you. You absolutely have persevered. You fucking, I've seen all those posts and everything. I was just like, well, somebody just join the band, for God's sake. But did you ever think that you would get to where you are today?
I didn't. I mean, I'm still nowhere at the moment, if that makes sense. I think that's the one thing. Like, when people have been congratulating me, I've still been like, there's a lot to do. Like, I'm not just going to now sit there and go, yeah, done what I needed to do. I'm signed. Like, yeah. No, it's completely like, no, there's a lot to do. And signing is nothing compared to everything else. I mean, the amount of red tape that you go through when signing, I've signed my likeness, I've signed my voice, I've signed my name. You know, I've signed everything of me over to someone else, which is a very alien thing to do. Yeah. So, you know, I'm sat here kind of going, right, I've still got in my head, I'm still going like, I got this to do, I got this to do, I got this to do, you know, like, and I didn't ever think that I would even be in this situation, but, you know, I hoped, you know, because without hope, you're nothing, you know, again, like I said, you've got to have those dreams, you've got to have those aspirations, you've got to have that belief. And I think that was one major thing that I've been with a lot of people musically that didn't have that, and it just looked at me like I was crazy, or that, you know, I was a dreamer. And I once got told by the bassist that we were just a local band and that's all we were ever going to be. And so to come out like this and be like, well, no, see, this is exactly what I was thinking we should be in, and how we should be it. And it's nice that I've done, like I said, got it with the people that are passionate about music, not necessarily the most, you know, the most and the most I can't think of the word, that they're the people basically that when they need to, like me, okay, I don't think I'm the most gifted of vocalists, I don't think I'm the most talented of a vocalist, but what I lack in talent and whatever finesse, I make up in like annoying drive and tenaciousness. I'm a tenacious like cunt at the end of the day. If I want something, I'll go after it as much as I can, you know, and I'll annoy the shit out of you until I get
It's the best way to be.
Yeah, so I think, and that's the same as the other guys, they have that same drive, you know, they have that same want, like, and I think when you have those people around you, you can create whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
you know, you can literally shoot for the moon, and that's what's beautiful, and like I said, serendipitous, because I spent all those years with people, and then to finally end up with the right ones and have something happen is just beautiful. It's amazing, it's insane, it's mind-blowing, you know.
it's cool, man.
And to have like him talk to fucking, and this is another weird thing, to have Dez talk to Rob Flynn from Machine Head, like it's gone round in a circle about Broken Jaw. Like he's and his in Rob Flynn's podcast. Rob Flynn is from frontman from Machine Head.
Yeah.
To have him, like, who was the first band I ever saw live, like now know the name of my band. It's fucked up. It's weird. You know, I got imposter syndrome like going on. I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't what I was built for. Like,
I love it. So, as you mentioned, Rob Flynn's podcast. I'm gonna have to bring this question up. I was doing my research, and I saw that you had a podcast for the band.
Yeah,
but it appears to be quite short-lived, like 3 episodes. What happened?
No. It's not short-lived. It's that we have got things going on. So the original idea for the podcast was that me and Sam, the guitarist, we basically just wanted to do it for when we're on the road and stuff like that, so that we can just talk about all the experiences and shit that's happened.
That's awesome.
Right. And so obviously, what with everything with lockdown, and then being signed, and then doing the album, everything else took precedence with it. But the first one that we come back to, when we do get back to it, because it's 3 episodes, so the 4th episode will literally be talking about all of the shit that's happened since, and I'm hoping maybe to get, like, you know, guests on it, like, you know, it'd be cool to get you guys on it at one point. You know stuff like that. You get different people from different backgrounds talking about it. You know, we'll go on like tour, and then if you guys are at a show, we'll sit down after the gig and whatever and go, so how shit were we?
Very.
Good, because we weren't aiming high. But yeah, I think it'd be nice, like, to be able to share the story again. This is the first time I've talked about the entire situation. Like, you know, I haven't done any interviews since again end of 2017, I think it was. So
oh wow.
Yeah, so this is I did one with I did one with Cardinal, who are lovely, but like it wasn't talking about like the signing or anything like that. It was more signing about you know, talking about like how each other are, because I know them from the Fireball, the whole situation with Fireball, because they got taken on to do a load of merch with Fireball. So we were talking about that, and those guys are friends again as well, who I've known for a couple of years, who are just as much happy and congratulatory towards me as well. So it was nice to be able to do one with them, but nothing really about what's going on. So this is the first time I've talked realistically about what's happened or what's happening with the album and the band.
It's a pleasure to have you here as well, my friend.
I as soon as you popped in my inbox, I was like, yeah, damn straight, like I'm happy to do that. That'd be fun. It'd be good to talk to you guys, because it means that I get to see you guys and have a laugh, but at the same point in time I get to talk about what I love doing.
Yeah, and that's what we want to hear. That's what everybody else wants to hear. So we want to share your story for people all over the world, and that's why we've rebranded this entire podcast, which will be 5 weeks ago now. And we want to share your love for your band. We want to share your music. We just want to get it all out there, man. We want people to be like, that sounds interesting, I'll go and check them out.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to try and sell yourself at the moment when you got nothing to sell yourself with.
Well, that's a very good point.
You're a bit like
process.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, we're impatient. Like, well, I say we, like the royal we. We're not. Like, me and John being the eldest. We are the most impatient fucking kids of the band. Being the fact that we're the eldest is just fucking weird, Like, we're the impatient ones. We're the ones that want it now. We want to get it done. We want it out. We want to have fun with it. And so for us, it's been a real emotional struggle, and at times really depressing, because you create something that you feel is really good, and you want to show it to the world.
Yeah.
You want everyone to fucking hear it. You want everyone to appreciate like what you've been going through, but at the same point in time, you can't. Like, now you've signed your life away and you're on the contract. You're like, yeah, no. I've had people asking me for it. You're not the only guys that were like, have you got anything for us to listen to? It's like, I've got my friends going, have you got anything for us to listen to yet? Sneaky. And I was like, no, I can't. I literally can't.
I was for research more than anything else, but yeah.
Well, I know what you're like.
Research, Nancy, research.
And then mid-episode, here's an exclusive track, everybody. Don't tell Dez.
I think it's an odd experience to have written to, but then like I said, I intentionally went out to be like, right, it's going to be a while till we release anything, and I'm glad. And when we did those 3-track demos, it was a real struggle not to release those 3-track demos, like just as like here's our music, here's what we're doing, like type of thing. It was more of I wanted them to be like a glimpse, like a little taster, like this is what we are doing, but think of what we could be doing, and Dez saw that, and that's what's beautiful. My idea came to fruition because of Dez, and so he listened to those and thought this band could be fucking big. And then he came to me and went, let's make you fucking big. Let's put money. And he's already put a lot of money in. And so he's going to, he's putting his money where his mouth is, literally.
Like, that's amazing, man.
Which,
awesome.
Again, it's mind-blowing. But at the same point in time, it's also very fucking worrying and stressful, because, like I said, you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can, but you shouldn't be doing anything different than you already are. I mean, we're an organized band, we have a calendar that we share with each other on the phone, so we put anything that we have, like when we can't practice or can't do that, someone just puts it in there and everyone else sees it. And that's fucking helpful. Like, but at the same point in time, not all bands are like that. So I can imagine for him signing an unknown band with like fucking less than 3,000 likes on Facebook, because likes is everything. And, not a very big reach, no music released. That's a huge fucking risk, man. Like, I couldn't imagine taking that risk. But
shows how good the product must have been, though.
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, I'm not gonna blow my own trumpet, like not live on webcam, but
damn it, that's what I came here for.
But I think, I mean, we were all pretty chuffed with it, but we never expected something like that to come out of it. And when I told the boys, like, because I told them over message as well, like, you saw the typing and the pausing and the typing and the pausing and nothing ever coming up. And then, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's like, basically, because like I said, it's a dream. Like for some kids who are like because I still class myself as a big kid, you know, like when it comes to music, like I still fucking love, like when a track comes out by a band I absolutely adore. Like you catch me when a Billy Talent track comes out, I'm fucking, you know, like, but yeah, like for us who grew up and who are as passionate, like to get those messages, and then for us to all sit there like huddled around a mobile phone while Dez talks to us, we're all like kids, you know, like we're all like, yes, Mr. Dez. But at the same point in time, we come away from that, like we make sure that we distance ourselves from that and be like, you know, he's a lovely guy, genuine, down-to-earth guy who is just like you or me. He just is passionate as music is about I am, and we are, like, you know. So when we come out away from those conversations, we go, right, okay, he's given us this, we're doing this, let's get fucking to it. Like, you know, the work never stops. And like I said, like I'm always working, even when I'm not, like, and that's how I want to, because I want to give back to music what it's given me. Like music gave me life, like, you know, it saved my life countless amounts of time. So I just want to do the same. I want to help some poor unfortunate soul who thinks that they're down on their luck realize that they're not, you know.
That's fucking awesome, man.
So we were talking earlier about playing live and saying that you missed it and whatnot. Just as a bit of fun, what are your favourite memories of playing live over the years that you can share?
Fuck. I mean, there's so many. That's the thing, because being in so many different bands as well. There's a couple. So like, we played Coco Gorillas in Cardiff in Create Chaos, and we played to about 250 people.
Oh, nice.
It is a big room, so it didn't look like 250 people. And they were spaced out. They weren't exactly like, you know, fully into music. You had the people that were into music near the front, but at the back of the room, like, you know, it was quite non-energetic. But I mean, pretty much it felt like, I think this is probably where I really felt at home being a frontman, was I managed to get them to sing my words back. I didn't get them, that's a wrong way of saying that. I put those words out there and they chose to sing them back at me. And it wasn't just the people that were energetic, it was the people at the back. It was everyone. And they weren't just singing it like half-assed. They were singing it full on. So that was a cool experience, and that was one of the earliest ones where I was like, you know what, this is cool. This is kind of what I want to do. If people are going to be that passionate about what I'm doing, then I'm damn well going to be passionate about it too. And then there's a lot of funny road stories, you know, like we've played up and down the country. Like I've gigged in Ireland with a load of boys. When we went to do Ireland, me and the bassist at the time got really fucking hammered, because it was like it's like 4 a.m, I think it was, like ferry over, and we decided instead of sleeping we were just going to get absolutely shit-faced and watch the sun come up while we're on the ferry. Yeah, and then slept in the car till the venue got up, and fucking like ended up basically being hanging when we were doing the first gig. Oh, we were fine. We just got back on the drink and we were there again, you know. Like, but that was a cool memory. Like that was really cool, because it was just me and him having a laugh, like going up to the top, having a smoke, having a drink, going back down, like watching crap TV, like early hours of the morning. And then like doing Amplified, the dreaded fucking festival that we shouldn't mention, but like that was a big deal, like because I'd put my heart and soul into that fucking festival. I worked my fucking ass off, and without expectation of playing, because there was so many other bands that were there that were being turned away because it was organized like a shitstorm. And so I gave up our slot on the main stage to another band, and then went to give our you know, our slot on the bar stage that we'd built. I went to give up our slot there to another band, but was told that wasn't happening by Ollie, bless him, Roy Lance, and told by Lee, who was doing the sound, and everyone, because they were like, no, you're passionate about music, but at the same point in time you deserve to play it. So it was like, okay, so I'll play it. And then playing that, and everyone being really warm and gratifying, and lovely to us. That was great. Like, and that was the last band I played with the other guys. So again, it holds a special memory in my heart for them to have been basically like that gig being the last one. Since then, I mean, like we did 3 gigs with this new lineup, and the gig that I fucking loved the most was the Two Pigs, because the Two Pigs is my home, man. Like I love that fucking venue, like through and through. Me and Chip have a love-hate relationship where we constantly barrage each other with insults, you know.
So good.
But I love him, and I love that he will give me the opportunity to do a gig, and I basically just run it, like, you know. So I book the bands, I say how much we need, and to get back there with the new lineup and do the gig and have the response that we had was insane. So so the only cover that we kept out of those ones that we first tried out, you know, each other with, was Breathe, and so we still play Breathe now, and it's fucking heavy and insane, dude. Like, and the response we got to that, like, it was great having the response to our own, but like the response we had to that, it was insane. Like, I'll send you a video of it, because the fucking movement in that crowd is awesome. Like, I loved it. Like, it was good fun, it was a good laugh, and to have people respond like that again after being so long away was beautiful, you know. Like, so I think that's the one that I appreciate the most. There are, like I said, there's hundreds of stories out there. There's some rude ones, but you'll have to talk to other people about
Track them down.
Amazing. Tom, have you got any more questions before I move on?
One last question, Nutzie. Why the Chiefs?
Oh, come on, it's not as bad as who you support. So
Steel Nation, mate. We're fucking 4-0 at the moment.
I was about to say you're doing really fucking good this season. I can't believe have you. I have your defense on my
good man.
On my fantasy. So yeah,
good lad. I've got yours. That's crazy. That.
I think
I've got the Chiefs teams in my fantasy.
Yeah, and they're not doing well. They were doing good until last weekend, but yeah.
Well, we won't talk about it.
So my old man is very chuffed about last weekend because he's a Raider fan. So we were a bit spouting, but I mean, I'd said he won by cheating, so it doesn't count.
So yeah, why did you become a Kansas City Chiefs fan, my friend?
So when I was younger, like my old man, I actually asked my old man a couple of months ago or a month ago now of how he got into American football, because he's been a fan of American football since before I was born, and he said that he just basically heard the first British radio broadcast of a game.
Oh,
and thought,
wow!
Well, that sounds interesting. Like I'll get into this type thing, and then eventually it just grew and grew and grew over here. So he I think I don't know if the Raiders were his first choice or if that was the first game that he listened to or what, but he chose the Raiders and he stuck with them throughout that time. Me, I started out like being obviously young, looking up to your old man. Like, I supported the Raiders, and then realized that the one of the players on the team it had the same name as me, Marcus Allen, because my real name is Marcus. Yeah. And so I followed him, and then he moved teams to the Chiefs, so I followed suit. And unfortunately for me, like, my mum saw red and decided to get me a 49ers jersey. Yeah, so, but I was like, you know, real young at the time, like, and she didn't know any different to whatever, and I could have been to blame. I could have been like that one, like, But there is a video of me in the world, like, of me wearing a 49ers shirt. But I've always been a Chiefs fan because, like I said, I followed Marcus Allen over and supported him ever since then, and just followed him ever since then, you know.
That's awesome, dude.
But that'd be my my favorite thing. But I'd always said, like, from years and years ago, that if the Chiefs ever won the Super Bowl, because they hadn't won anything since 1969, I said if they ever won anything, like, probably in my later teens, I said, like, if they ever won anything again, then I get a tattoo, and I did. I got the tattoo of the arrowhead, and then the date that they won. So
that's amazing. Where'd you get that?
Where did I get the?
I say, where is it on you?
Where is it on me? It's on my like just lower calf, like so.
Lush, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's underneath. So I also got the new Broken Jaw emblem as well, with the guy's initials on it as well. Just
That's
above
awesome.
that. So yeah, they're a part of me. Like, so every tattoo on me is basically like a pinpoint of my life. Like most of them were down points, like, so I got them as memories of I got through that, so therefore, you know, like, this is a strength that it can look back on and go, you know, you went through that, so you can get through anything. Like but since probably around like 6-7 years ago, I've started getting ones that mean the points of, actually no, I'd say, yeah, probably about 9 years actually, I started getting ones where it's been a more about a celebration, which is lovely, because to have that flip in your life where you go from being like, this is shit, but like you got through it, let's mark that, to now being like, this is incredible, like, mark that, like, it's beautiful. So, you know, I've got the original members on my left leg with the original Scully, and then so on my right leg I've got the new members, like, and the new Scully. So
nice, dude.
just above the Chiefs, look. So yeah,
that's awesome. So before we get out of here, we tried this the other week and it didn't go to plan the first time. I'm hoping this goes to plan this time. we designed a quick fire question. It's literally 5 questions. Answer them as quick as you can. Simple as that.
Here we go.
So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Number 1, favorite cheese.
Cheese. It's got to be brie.
Oh, good choice.
Favorite Power Ranger.
Green. Tommy.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was Tommy, wasn't
Tommy. Yeah, it was Tommy. Yeah.
Best gig you've ever been to.
Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes.
Interesting.
Favorite Christmas movie.
That's recent. That's recent memory though. So I mean, if I was going back, like, there's been fucking tons, dude. I literally have been to so many. It's unreal. But I mean, you know, Foo Fighters, fucking Pearl Jam, like the Milton Keys, Green Day when they did the with the American Idiot tour, the Bullet in the Bible tour. Like, I saw fucking them. Like, that was insane because the lineup on that lineup was absolutely stunning. You know, again, Machine Head, like the first gig I ever saw at Machine Head being in a small room, like, fucking insane. Seeing Billy Talent, like, at the Cardiff University up in the bar, not on the main fucking stage, up in the bar, dude. Like, when they were, like, first starting out, like, that was a sweaty, small, intimate gig, you know? So many gigs, like, but like I said, like, because it's recent, Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, man, like go, if you've not watched them live, like, if you're just basing them off their music, fucking go and see them live. They're an absolute insane band to watch. So much energy, and that's, again, like, bands lack that energy, especially like metal bands at the moment. They all just stand there and think they fucking look pretty, you know, and it fucks me off. It's like, move, you cunt, do something, be passionate about your art.
Favorite Christmas movie.
Jingle All the Way.
Yes,
Great choice.
good man.
It's close though. It's close because, like, A Muppet Christmas Carol. So there's 5 films that we watch every year, and I should have maybe said the other one, but that would have maybe caused some controversy. So, so Muppets Christmas Carol, Jingle All the Way, and then Die Hard, and then Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
And I don't know what the 5th one is. Laura, what's the 5th Christmas film we watch? Scrooged. Yes, Scrooged.
Oh, I've seen that in years.
So every year, without fail, those are our 5 films that we'll sit down and watch. Like, it's Halloween as well. We do a load for Halloween. So, you know, like, we haven't done many. We've been doing new ones. So last night we watched Slaughterhouse Rules. So,
I've heard of that, but not seen it.
which is really weird because it's a Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. It's not actually them. Like, it's not Edgar Wright, like, directing it, but it's obviously you know, it's Nick Frost and Simon Pegg in it. But, like, for one that they did, it was, yeah, I mean, they it hasn't been very well advertised, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. It wasn't anything special, but meh, you know.
Get on the back of the DVD cover.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I mean, yeah. Nuts. I think, I mean, that's another thing. Like, I'm a massive movie fucking buff fan. I worked in blockbusters for 4.5 years, dude. Like, so I literally, like, I will give you so many films that you can watch. Like, my bookcase is pretty much like Tom's, but bigger in the back. Like, I'm like that. But, like, I'll send you a picture of my fucking case, dude.
Yeah, do it.
We worked out, like, we got, like, something like 500, 600 films, like,
Jesus
on there. So, yeah.
Crazy.
Right, last one, because we had some fun with this one. Would you rather be stranded at sea or in the desert?
Yeah, fuck.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that one requires thought, which is good that it's the last one.
That's why I made it the last one.
Smart thinking. I like to see that you haven't got your thinking hat on though.
I don't do hats.
So up here for thinking, down there for dancing, in between
yep.
for fun. Look. So if I'm stranded out at sea though, what have I got? Like, what am I on a boat or am I just like in a dinghy? You know,
in the ocean?
Am I rum hamming it? Like, you know, just fucking floating along and rum. Or am I on a cruise ship, like being like, oh, this isn't too bad, you know?
You're in the ocean.
You are in the
You're
ocean.
bobbing along.
I'm by myself. Do I not even get floaties?
Nope.
Oh, fuck that then. I'm going desert.
Yes, that's
I'm
exactly
not
what I
being
said.
funny. I'm not being funny, right? And it really freaks me out. Like I would not go in the sea if I could, right? But at the same point in time, like it's the sea. It's so unknown. Like there's so much down there that you have no fucking clue. And there's so many things in there that want to destroy you because you're in their fucking element. That can get fucked. I'd rather go and starve to death or, you know, dehydrate. Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, die from flipping drinking my own piss, probably.
This is why we're friends.
I mean, there's the thing, in it, if you're out in the desert, aren't you meant to, like, piss on, like, some item of clothing and wrap it around your head or something like that? Like,
Something like that,
yeah.
Yeah. Try and keep you cool.
See, look, I should watch more Bear Grylls. Like. Yeah, I think the desert one is the safest one because, I mean, you could be fucking literally... The desert you could cross probably, like, with help with some food and water. Like, the ocean, nah, you ain't getting out of that unless the fucking tide wants you to. So it depends how far you in. I mean, there was so much that we could have gone into this.
Yeah,
we could have been like,
so
where
many
in the
unknown
ocean
possibilities.
yeah. Where in the desert am I? Like, you know, is the titty twister just down the road? Like,
red pussy, green pussy, I'm safe.
chicken pussy, hey, if you can find better pussy anywhere, fuck it.
I love that film.
Right. Yeah, but like, I mean, you could go. What's the water one where the woman ends up on a rock? Again, deep sea, is it, or something like that? Like, yeah, there's a survival one where a woman gets bit by a shark who's out to sea and she survives and whatever. But yeah, you could be anywhere.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, please just take this opportunity, tell everyone where they can find you on the internet, yourself, your band, whatever you want to plug, just go for it.
Don't be lazy cunts. It's really fucking simple. Like, it's really easy to find us. It's just Broken Jaw UK in any fucking social media. We're very pragmatic in the fact that we turned around and went, you know what? Let's make it easy for everyone because not everyone's fucking that well thought out. You know, let's just go Broken Jaw UK. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to find us, come and shout abuse at us, and we'll maybe shout abuse back or just ignore you. Depends on how good your abuse is. we had one guy like comment on YouTube. If you get a chance, go. I can't remember if it's on Rob Flynn's or on Jamie Jaster's podcast, but if you get a chance, go on either one of those on YouTube and go and have a look at the abuse that's been said. It's perfect. I love fucking people when they're trolling or when they're being like, oh, this band sucks. Well, someone actually put up broken jaw, don't they mean broken teeth? And I put underneath that just a comment again with the emoji, the thinking emoji. It could be.
So good.
But yeah, like again, you won't be it's all in jest as well. I'm never like horrible to, and that's what I don't get is when people get horrible on their keyboards, like keyboard
warriors, yeah.
Like calm down,
Fucking
go outside.
Get in the bin.
Yeah. Get in my spaceship where I'm gonna fly you into the fucking sun. Go on.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Nutzie, thank you so much for doing this, mate. This has been absolutely great.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. I'm excited to get you out there now.
Yeah, man. Like I can't wait to be able to get like back to the point where we can just go and have a beer and enjoy this. You know, like
sounds good to me.
I think that's the thing. Like I probably miss the most is just going to hang out with my friends. You know, like and a lot of my friends have had flipping like. I say a lot. A couple of my friends have had kids since, like during lockdown and shit like that. So they're struggling, bless them. Like, but yeah, like, yeah. Thank you again, like, for asking me, and hopefully it wasn't too much of a pain. Trying to get this sorted.
It's all right. It'll all go on the YouTube channel, so it's all
good. Everyone can see me fail.
You've got that initial first few minutes saved. Don't worry.
I can't wait.
Thanks.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. You're so welcome. But we'll go for a beer, man, when this is all said and done. Yeah.
Fucking A. Like, hopefully, hopefully we'll be gigging. Like I said, Dez has got some huge plans for us, with some huge bands as well. So it'd be great to see you guys at a show, and
definitely.
I'll get the beers in and the fireball in, and we can just have a ruckus.
Sounds beautiful. Nutzie, my friend. Have a great evening. Thank you so much, my friend, and I will see you soon.
See you soon, my friend. Thank you very much.
Take it easy.
Find all this great content and more at the USUK Podcast Network.